20 or 21, around that time, pulling up in an AMG. The dean ended up giving me a fucking handicap pass for my car so I could park it away from everyone else. Yeah, so I was able to hit like a 30x every week. Chat was eating, everyone was eating. Was able to shoot a video with Dana White, which was so fucking surreal, bro.
Yo, what is good, everyone? Welcome back to episode 7. Today we got the chance to interview an absolute legend in the Web3 scene. We got a Titty. He talks about going from selling ice cream at 14 years old to pulling up to class in an AMG. As always, I couldn't have done any of this without y'all, so I actually have an announcement. I am now partnered with Nova. Nova is here to bring you the best trading experience possible, and if you want early access now, just go to nova.trade/@Wasti so you can start printing yourself. I hope you guys enjoy the episode. This one is insane, and let me know what you guys think. Make sure to drop me a follow on Twitter and sub to the YouTube, all that good stuff, and enjoy the episode. So let's start off with the basic. What was your introduction to crypto?
So the way I got into it, in 2016, there was a movie called Dope on Netflix, and it was basically A$AP Rocky was in it, which was the only reason I was trying to watch it. Because I was a huge A$AP Rocky fan back then. That was the first time I heard of Bitcoin, because he was receiving Bitcoin, and I was like mad confused at the time, because it was like on the black market, it was saying he was receiving like 3-4 Bitcoin per order. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I searched it up, and at the time, I believe Bitcoin was like $200, and I was like, damn, bro. Yeah, I was like, damn, like he's making like internet money. Like literally, that's how I like looked at it. I was like, he's literally making internet money. And I started doing a lot of research, and that whole summer after that movie, I just sat there like grinding, like saving up as much money as I could. And I think that was like 2017 was that summer, like the summer after 2016. It was that summer 2017. I saved up a good amount. I think it was like 4K. I think Ethereum was at like also $200-300 at that time, because then Bitcoin was at like a rack or two after. Bought into Ethereum, and dude, it's been crazy ever since.
Oh, okay. So that was your big play, you would say, early on?
Yeah, that was my big, like, huge introduction. And then, like, after 2017, like 2018, when I saw like the price double and triple, any cent I made, bro, I was just buying crypto.
Dang, so bro was grinding. Yeah, that's sick, bro. A lot of people that I talk to actually end up having like similar stories, and it's funny for people that have been around for a minute. A couple dudes said, like, word for word, two different people, I think it was Spoono and someone else, said that they needed like a fake ID, and the only way they could get it was in Bitcoin around that time. And,
yeah.
Or like just everyone knew about it from just some shady shit, bro. And then now it is what it is. So it's like, it's pretty crazy, bro.
Bro, that's facts too. Honestly, I probably would have been introduced to it sooner on if I had bought in my own ID, but I just gave my boy my money. I was like, all right, like, you know what I mean? So like, fuck. But in all honesty, I don't think my boy really cared, because that same one who was buying those IDs is now just working like a normal office job and doesn't even care about crypto. So like,
you should have locked in, bro.
Bro, I was trying to, bro. I was trying to tell him, man, and he just kept ignoring. And then now he's just like, bro, put me on. I'm like, all right. But yeah, bro, it's been a crazy roller coaster ever since then.
For sure. So I know you were in NFTs a little bit. Can you kind of describe, like, how was your experience doing that?
Fuck yeah, bro. So like NFTs, realistically, it was super cool. The way I got into it was a little odd. I had saved up a bunch of Ethereum at that point. It was like 2021. My older brother had passed away. I was like sitting in a like dark, depressive hole in my room, like having left for like a month. My one boy hit me up. He was like, bro, like, you have a shit ton of crypto just laying around. I was like, yeah, that's true. Like at that time, I probably had like over 100 ETH just like sitting there. And that's just like ETH that I accumulated. And like in 2021, I think ETH was probably at like 2,500 or 3K. Yeah, I was doing pretty well for myself. At that time, I was also 21, in college, whatever. So he was like, bro, buy into NFTs, buy into like, at that time, it was a week after the Bored Ape Yacht Club Mint. I was asking him if I should buy that. He told me no. He told me to buy into something called Sympathy for the Devils. I fucking ran in there with like 60K into him. A week later, my 60K was like worth 10K. And I was just like, bro, I was so fucking mad. I was hitting him up. I was like, dude, are you dead ass? And, I was like, dude, what the fuck do you get me into? He's like, bro, I'm telling you, keep holding. And he was like, if you can, buy more off the floor. Like, all right, whatever. So I kept buying more off the floor, buying more. At this point, like I probably in total had like a portfolio worth of like 100K of these Sympathy of the Devils. Next thing you know, bro, fucking a week later, they went from like 0.06 all the way up to 0.8 ETH. and I just unloaded them, bro. Like unloaded them, dog. And yeah, bro. So like that was my first big bag, and then after that, bro, I was just hooked on NFTs, and I was just making money left and right, bro. And then especially when like Sol came out, and I was like one of the first people who switched over from ETH to Sol. Like yeah, people were calling me broke boy and whatever because I was on Sol, which was like cheaper. But being early, bro, being an early adopter, I made a lot more money.
So you were pretty early into Sol. How did you find out about Sol, or what made you interested in it at the time?
It was mainly because like I was always paying attention to the market, and there was like always alts that were coming out left and right. I saw Solana early on. I think it was at like $30, and I didn't really like pay attention to it up until I saw it at like 160, and it was just like ripping, you know what I mean, like nonstop. And I was like, what the fuck? So I kind of like looked into it. I saw that a lot of like big ETH whales, like some of them, like, you know, Big Brain and other people were just straight going into Sol. And I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna switch over. I switched over, and at the time, like Solana Monkey Business was minting. So I minted like 2 of those. And then like, bro, that was also one of my best plays too.
So you were doing Solana NFTs as well?
Yeah, Solana NFTs. I was also doing ETH NFTs still. And then I was also still like, I was doing back like everything, bro. Like ETH NFTs, ETH meme coins eventually, like Pepe, things like that. Like I just kept doing both of them. And then eventually like I just got sick and tired of ETH, to be honest.
What about FTX? Did you hold through that, or what happened there?
Yeah, bro, I got fucked. I got like bent over, like lubed up, like, bro, it was bad. Like they basically threw me in like a middle of like a party with like 100 ditties, if that makes sense. Dude, it was bad. Like I was running up the bag, and I was so happy, bro. I was so happy. I was like, let's fucking go. Like Solana 260, we're going up. This is gonna be crazy. And then like all of that at that time too, like I just took everything and put it into Sol. Like I swapped from ETH straight into Sol, everything. And yeah, bro, I flew out to California with my boy. We were just having a good time. Next thing you know, I wake up the next day of him like yelling. He's like, bro, look at your fucking wallet. Look at your wallet. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? I look at my wallet. My portfolio literally tanked like 30% in that day. And I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, no fucking way, bro. And then like me and him, we still had to stay in Cali for like another 2 weeks. So we were just sitting there in Cali for those 2 weeks, just watching our port just keep going down. And we were like, bro, there's no way it's gonna go lower. There's no way it's gonna go lower. And eventually, bro, yeah, down to $8, and I helped through it all.
Damn, okay. You were in college. Did you finish college, or how did that go?
I had 2 years left of university when I started like really making money. At that point, I was just like pulling up in an AMG, 20 or 21, around that time, pulling up in an AMG. I was like talking to like the professors and shit. The dean ended up giving me a fucking handicap pass for my car so I could park it away from everyone else. Bro, it was like some crazy treatment. I would like walk into class super late every time. I would just sit there, whip out my laptop, start working, literally just sitting there, trading NFTs, meme coins, everything. One time my professor, she was my financial professor actually, which was the crazy part. She like started talking to me about everything, talking to me about crypto. She was like, hey, like, look, like this is very risky, this, and you know what I mean? Like just how like the old, and she was like giving me a lot of wisdom though, because her and her husband own like the biggest brewery in New Jersey. So like, and she does like a lot of like the taxes, like she's a tax accountant as well. She does a lot of taxes for like big corporations. She was helping me out with a lot of things, and then she realized like the amount of money I was making, the things that I was doing. So eventually she like brought me back after I graduated to like come back and teach the class.
Oh, that's
yeah,
sick,
bro. Yeah, bro. It was a great experience. I you know what I mean? I just kept grinding, even though I was like making a lot of money, way more money than anyone. But I was like, fuck it, might as well get my diploma. I'm already 2 years in. So I just finished it up and then came back, did that class, and yeah, bro, it's been a blessing.
That's actually sick, because a lot of people just like fucking peace out dip when they're making that money. So you kind of had your own way of going about it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, bro. I mean, honestly, the way I looked at it too, because like I wasn't in like I've been in crypto for a minute, right? But like me creating my own like social media brand was something new to me. I was like, I really don't know how long this is gonna last or how far I could take it, especially with how small the niche is of crypto. I was just like, let me get my diploma just in case anything happens. It's better to have something to fall on, you know what I mean? Like a normal job. And at the end of the day, if I have my diploma, you know what I mean, I'm still doing better than most people who don't, you know? So I was like, fuck it, let me get it.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Did you work before crypto, or kind of how did that transition in?
I started working at a super young age because my family, like, they're immigrants and I'm the first generation here. So we never really had the best upbringing. Like, always had to like work for anything I wanted, like an Xbox or anything like that. I started working when I was 14 years old on the Atlantic City boardwalk scooping ice cream in the summertime. And I would be working like 16 hours a day, 7 days a week in the hot summer. But I was also a 14-year-old making like $1,000 a week. So like, not, I wouldn't say like 1,000. I think 1,000 was on like 4th of July. I think I made like 1,500 plus tips.
Dang.
But yeah, but like everything else, I think I was probably making like $700 a week, but it was still great. You know, I was spending it on fucking Call of Duty games and candy. I was never a big fan of working, so like I always just kept a summer job, and I was never a big fan of that. But in school, I was also playing 3 sports, and I was supposed to go D1 for basketball. So there was like a lot of reasons why I wasn't really a big fan of working, and I never really liked to work for anyone. Eventually, like when I realized I couldn't play basketball anymore because of my shoulder injury, I ended up getting a job at a fucking Texas Roadhouse. I ended up getting a job there, and the first week, bro, I was already like flipping sneakers because that's how I also started it off. Like when I was making money, I mean, when I started making money like at 17, 18 during the summertime, I'll take my money, flip sneakers, flip Supreme, things like that. And it was doing well, but then like it was got to the point where like I wasn't making as much as I wanted. So I was like, let me get a second, like an actual job. Went to that fucking Texas Roadhouse, was there for, I shit you not, 2 weeks. The first week in, I'm like sitting here, I'm like, dude, this is such a waste. And then I'm realizing I'm missing out on so much profit from like reselling. So I was like, dude, fuck this. And then after 2 weeks, I just straight up quit, and that was my last job.
Building a personal brand, and I believe I heard something else that at first you were undoxed, of course, as most people are on Web3. How did it correlate with you building your personal brand and how you were performing in your personal like trades? Like, was it kind of side by side, or fuck it, I have to like try to put myself out there because of what I'm doing?
So when it came to me building the brand, so-called, it really stemmed from the fact that I did international marketing and business for school. So basically everything that I was just like learning from there, I was like putting it towards my Twitter account. And at first, yeah, 100% wasn't doxed. I was completely just doing my own thing. What I started doing at first is I was like, okay, I was making money trading, I was making money through NFTs. Let me post my P&L, show everyone what's going on. So I started doing that, and it took a while for me to kick up. After I believe 7 months, I finally hit like 10k followers. And then after that, I started transitioning to like mainly NFTs because NFTs started popping off. That's when I was like, okay, now that I have 10k followers, I could kind of start doing something with this. And at that time, the whitelist meta was huge, bro, like huge. All these like so-called OGs on Solana were getting these like whitelist spots, and I'm not gonna call anyone out because I don't want to. We're all getting like hundreds of whitelist spots for these projects that were like going 6x over mint. And I was like, okay, cool. Like these projects started reaching out to me and I was getting them. I was like, how can I switch up and be a little different from everyone else? I was like, I'm already making money on my own. I could keep a couple of these whitelist spots and make money, or I could keep all of these and make a lot of money. Like, you know what, let me honestly like start just giving these away. So like I started giving away the whitelist spots, and eventually it helped like blow me up because a lot of people were making money off of it. And at that point, I believe I got to like 40k followers, and this is where I was like, okay, let me switch this completely up and then make my own private chat. So I made my own private Discord because it was a way that I could just interact with people. I realized like that's what you needed to build a brand. So I was like, okay, let me make that, interact with more people, because on X you could only interact with so many. I did it that way, and at first I kept it like super limited, because obviously if you keep things limited, bro, people want it even more. You know, and that's just like marketing 101, supply and demand. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, only 100 people in the group chat first, blah 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 blah. Had it like that, locked it for like a month, was doing only whitelists in there, bro. Like they profited, like those 100 people ended up profiting like 20-30k. Everyone kept seeing it, kept getting more and more. Eventually it was to the point where like, bro, I just let the floodgates open. I think we were at like 100k members, bro. It was insane. And from then on, because I had like that many members, I kept like scaling up, and at that point I think I was at like 90k followers now. The OK Bears mint was coming out, and I was super close to the team. I was like, you know what, let me change things up. Everyone was taking those whitelist spots again for themselves. I got 100 at first and gave them straight to the Discord. Got another 100, gave it straight away on Twitter. Got another 100, gave that away on Discord again. And then at the end I got 50, and then I think I gave away like another 20 on Discord and kept 20 for myself. myself. For me, myself, I think I made like a solid 600K off of that mint. But then my Discord went crazy, bro. Because you got to remember, there's some OK bears going for like 200K, fucking 100K. Yeah, bro, they were going insane. That really helped me like make a name for myself, because once people saw that, everything started exploding from there. And after that, I was like, okay, let me take advantage of this. I've been sitting here, and at this point, it's been like 2-3 years straight grinding on X. You know, I've been helping people make money. Let me reap some of the rewards. So I made it a paid Discord, made money off of that as well. And then after that, I just transitioned into straight meme coins, bro. Just straight trading, made people so much money through that. And then I disappeared for like 7 months. I've never said this, but I'll say it. I don't really mind. December 2023 to April 2024. So that, I think it was like a 4-month period, 5-month period. I was able to hit basically on average like a 30x every week. It was mainly like 100x or a little less. Yeah, so I was able to hit like a 30x every week. The chat was eating, everyone was eating. Discord, the prices went up like crazy. Like at that point, because I did it as an NFT, so at that point, like the passes were worth like 20 Sol a piece. Sol was up as well. I think Sol was at like 150, so my passes were sitting at a good amount. We were all just eating, bro, left and right. And then eventually I was like, bro, like I made so much. I think I made like 6 mil, bro. I was like, you know what, it's time for me to just disappear real quick, enjoy life. Because I did that, bro, basically 3 years straight. Every day I was working like same thing I was doing as a young kid, 16 hours a day every single fucking day, bro. And it just drained me, so I disappeared completely. And then I got bored, to be honest. I got super bored, and I was like, dude, fuck it, let me come back. I already have a brand, let me come back and really make this thing rip, because social media is going to be the next thing. And I came back and doxed, like I think it was December of 2024. So the past, how long has it been, like 6 months? So that's really my story. I doxed, and ever since I've been doxing, bro, I've been blowing up even more, bro, because people get to see the face behind the PFP. They get to trust you even more. They get to really understand you. You know what I mean? They see the personality, they see the person, and you can just do a lot more with content for your brand.
100%, bro. That is a insane come up, my friend. Docs pretty much when everything was like absolutely ripping. So it was like damn near perfect fucking timing too. Cause like December to January, like that shit was fucking insane. Non-stop. Yep. Like, dude, that's crazy.
I mean, that's the thing, bro. That's what I was like saying. Like everything is like all about like timing and just being like, you know what I mean? Like if you know how to market things correctly, then you know what you're doing. So like everyone was active at that time. So I was like, fuck it, let me come back. Like I was grinding all through the bear, made my bag, and then when it went all-time highs, I was enjoying myself, and I was like, fuck it, let me shoot some content while I'm enjoying myself. One of my big bags was just like Bitcoin. I also, like, ordinals first came out, I was one of the first people, because everyone was shitting on DGods. I was one of the few people, at least, that I was able to get 2 of them. That also started my Bitcoin journey. I minted those. I think they were like 13K a piece, and everyone was like coming at DGods like, oh no way, these are gonna go over mint. Next thing you know, I sold 2 of mine. They were pretty rare for like 1.6 Bitcoin a piece. And then after that, because if you minted a DGods, it was kind of like I guess a little cabal. If you minted DGods, ZK, who was part of the DGods team, was creating Ordinal Maxi Biz. So if you created DGods, he was only inviting those Bitcoin DGods to Ordinal Maxi Biz. Then I got in there. Basically, long story short, the 2.6 Bitcoin that I got from the DGods mint, which was originally from what I started off with, was like 0.6 Bitcoin, ended up turning into at least 20 plus Bitcoin. Always make sure you pivot and you're an early adopter, bro, because that's definitely the way to make money.
What do you think separates you from the average person that led you to becoming successful?
I'd say it's mainly just like the environment I grew up in. It was a perfect environment for someone to be able to grow. I came from nothing. I've seen it all. We lived in the ghetto. It was, like I said, me plus 4 other people living in a 1-bedroom apartment. So like I've seen all of that, and I've seen how hard my parents worked. So that obviously put a lot of like motivation in me, especially being the first generation. But then it was also the fact that I had, you know, my parents who supported anything that I did. So like if I'd be like, oh, like I'm gonna do this or that, you know, obviously they'd hate it at first. Like in the beginning when I was trying to like be big in COD, my mom would always take away my controller controller and tell me, oh, this isn't gonna do anything. Yeah, bro. And then like fucking bro, tell me why like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, she like hits me up. She's like, yeah, why aren't you doing YouTube or playing video games? Like these kids are making so much money. I was like, yeah, mom. I wonder why. But like they're the type of parents where, you know, they're very like traditional, you know, go to college, work, we came here for you to get a better education, whatever. And I did that, but at the same time, like I was doing something different. And at first they weren't really liking it, but then once they realized, you know, I was making profit and showing them that profit and things like that, they were full on behind it and supporting it. So like anything that I was trying to do was risky, they would always like back me and tell me to do it. And then like, you know what I mean, it just like helped me be more confident in who I am. Yeah, I mean, that's really the only thing that makes me different. But other than that, we're all the same, bro. Everyone can do it as long as you have the dedication and you're consistent and you know what you want and you have the goal in front of you, bro. Anyone can do it. People underestimate themselves, you know, and then like people are always like, oh, like tomorrow I'll do it, or tomorrow's the best day, or this time is the best day, or I'm gonna wait till I get a camera, or I'm gonna, you know what I mean? But that's just really like you doubting yourself. Like the more you push it off, that's just really you doubting yourself and being scared. Like I said, you can't reap the rewards if you don't take the risk. You won't know what happens. Like you can't just live your life, your entire life being like, oh, what if I did this? People really just have to like, oh, if they want to do content, like bro, everyone has a fucking phone. Pick up your phone, you got a camera on it, fucking do content and post it.
You're genuinely one of the most like upbeat, positive dudes I've seen on the timeline, and we know how cruel this space can be, especially because I mean, half the time I see your tweets, you're fucking counting down for like $1,000 giveaway, and I'm like, holy shit, again? What keeps you up with doing that and just staying happy?
I guess it was more so the fact like before my brother passed away, I was kind of just like a negative person. I wouldn't say negative, but like I'll just let the simple things bother me or anything like that. Then after he passed away, it really just made me look at life differently. It made me just really want to enjoy all the little things. So like, yeah, if like something small happens or like an inconvenience or something big, like yeah, I'm gonna be like upset, but I'm not gonna let it ruin my mood or anything, because at the end of the day, like as long as I'm alive, as long as I'm breathing, that's really all that matters. It's just really how I go about living life. Like, okay, cool, I got a flat tire, it is what it is. I don't give a fuck, I'm not gonna sweat it. Yeah. And then like in regards to like the giveaways, bro, I just like said, I grew up from nothing. I really had nothing and no one was really there to help me with anything. And now that I have, you know, a good amount of money, I always love to give back to people, and I love seeing people like excited, or you know what I mean, when I send the giveaway prize and someone's like, bro, like you just paid my bills for this month, or you did this, or you did that, or you helped me out of this situation, you know, and it makes me even more happier, you know, it makes me even want to do it even more. So like I believe like just putting good out there will bring good back, and like I don't expect it because that's not how karma works, but at the end of the day, it's like if you're good, you're giving off good vibes, you know what I mean? As you see with my community, people aren't rude, people aren't coming at me, people are always supportive, people are always, you know, talking to each other. I love having a positive community around me, because at the same time, that's how people grow, you know. People can't grow in a negative space.
It's huge, bro. I think you're definitely like one of the bright lights, bro. Yeah, I'll be seeing the most outrageous shit, and then I'll just see you smiling doing a giveaway, and I'm like, all right, I guess it's chill. Like, we're good. You got into Solana meme coins, and we talked about you undoxing around December. And so at what point did you start working with Nova?
They were actually trying to reach out to me while I was inactive, before they even came out. Bro, it was crazy. Like I logged on to Twitter after a fucking 7-month hiatus. So many DMs. So it took me a while. And then eventually like I saw messages from them, and I was like looking through everything, and like, you know, obviously there was like trading bots at the time. I think it was like BonkBot and like Trojan and all this, but like Trojan ended up getting hacked or something on the back end and compromised everyone's funds. So it was just like something that I didn't really want to get into. And like I hopped on a call literally for like every day for a week straight with the team for at least like 2 hours, and really got to, you know, get to know the team, understood the product, understood their vision, what they were trying to do. And bro, I loved it. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going with Nova. And at the same time too, the one selling point that really got me on board was they're the fastest bot, you know. So it was just like, if I'm a trader, I know that you got to get in, like you make more money the faster you get in, the faster you get out, you know. So that was key. Once I realized that, and I also did my own like test runs on every single bot, I was just like, dude, fuck it, I'm with it. Like I'm with the winning team, bro. Yeah,
I think what they're doing is sick, bro. Did you kind of have a sneak peek before it was like coming out, and you were just like kind of sitting there just waiting, just like, bro, this is gonna be huge?
No, because that's the thing, like when they were reaching out to me, that's when I was inactive. So I came back in December, and I think that was like 3 weeks or a month after they went live. It was insane because I was able to see them from the beginning technically, but like after I joined on board, like yeah, they basically like somewhat, like I would say, kind of brought me onto the team, let me know about all the back end things, everything that they were doing, the next plans, you know, obviously the decks. I've known about the decks for, bro, ever since December. Yeah, honestly, they've been killing it, and everything that they have that they're coming out with is something that they've planned like a while ago, bro, and they're just constantly working nonstop. You need a team like that, you know, like I said, ones that are always pivoting, like you have to pivot, ones that are always adopting, you know, things like that. Like the only way you could really win in this industry is by always like staying up to date or being ahead.
So how does it feel going from trading NFTs and making your money to doing crypto gambling streams with Nelk and meeting Dana White and shit like that?
Fuck, it's been crazy, dude. It, like I said, crazy ass roller coaster. Never expected this. It was also something that I always wanted to do because when I wasn't doxxed, I worked for like VeChain in the UFC. I was able to, you know, meet a lot of these celebrities, meet a lot of people, but I wasn't able to, you know, record anything or tell them, oh, let me have you on a podcast or a stream, you know what I mean? So I couldn't take advantage of it. That's what really made me want to dox, is like I was sitting there in those environments and I was like, bro, like if I recorded this or did any of these, like no one really gets to experience that. So I was like, fuck it, why not? So when I doxed, bro, it just opened up so many different doors, and I just started like reaching out to people left and right. You know, some people denied it, some people accepted, and like that's what comes with, you know, grinding and believing in yourself. It's like, okay, cool, whatever, I have the vision. I just kept going, and then like, yeah, bro, I able to shoot a video with Dana White, which was so fucking surreal, bro. And like it didn't really hit me until afterwards, you know, or mid conversation. Like I was sitting there talking to him, I did a whole interview and shouted out the vlog that's gonna be out soon. But like, yeah, bro, like halfway through the interview, I'm like, wait, dude, I'm like talking to Dana White as if he's my boy. So yeah, so that was crazy. But then like, bro, yeah, I've just been making connects left and right. So like the Nelk boys, that was super sick. And then you guys, I mean, this is probably gonna come out right after the stream, so I'll say it right now, you know, I'm even gonna be super confident, and because we still have 7 more days for it, but I have a stream with 6ix9ine coming out. I know it's gonna be fucking insane. It's gonna kill it. I'm so like, bro, it's been insane, and yeah, bro, I'm living a dream, you know what I mean? But that's the thing, I can't get too caught up into it and like lose myself or anything like that. I'm like constantly sticking to my goal, sticking to the idea, keeping it going, and like, you know what I mean? Once you get the ball rolling, bro, it's just a domino effect, and you gotta keep going, because once you stop, you lose the momentum. It's been insane, bro. Fuck, man. Like it's only the beginning, truly, bro, because I have crazy vision, bro, and we're just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger, man. I realized when I doxed and came back here and I kept working on my brand that I made a community that wasn't really focused on Web3. Like, yeah, like I would trade and they loved that and everything, and it's been sick, but like I realized my community will follow me into whatever I do, you know? So like
they'll pivot with you, bro.
Exactly, bro, exactly. Yeah, so like, bro, yeah, I don't, it's been crazy, man. And then now I'm also I'm working with Ledger too. I have a video that I got to do with them, so like, bro, it's been crazy.
Personally, for me, one of the coolest things I've seen you do, and probably everybody's dream that's in their own bag and working, was giving your mom $10,000, which I know, like, I'm not talking about the dollar amount, and I'm sure you probably helped her out before that maybe, but making it a video, the whole surreal moment of doing that, like, that's stuff that like I'm up at night like dreaming about, and I'm sure other people watching this are too. Can you describe how that went about, feelings behind that, like, and just the overall everything coming to that point? Because I feel like, I mean, it's such a huge thing, bro. It's your mom, like, they gave you life, they take care of you, like they support you when you're down, everything like that. So
100%, bro. Yeah, your mom is everything, bro. She's the foundation. I was always making money, and I always tried to like give it to my parents, but they're also, like I said, they're super supportive. So they're the type of parents where it's like, if I'm making money, they're not asking me for money. They want me to save it up. They want me to do good things with it. As long as I'm doing well, they're happy. It got to the point where I was like, bro, nah, like I need to like spoil them. So one day I was like, fuck it, let me go to the bank, whip out 10 grand and give it to my mom, because I know it's like not like, I mean, 10 grand is a really good amount. Like it's a healthy amount, you know what I mean? Like it's really good. But to me, it was just like, I don't want to give her too much because then she'll tell me no, and I don't want to give her too little because that's my mom. So I pulled up on her, she didn't even know about it, whipped out the 10 grand, gave it to her. You know, seeing her cry and everything like that was, they almost made me cry, but I didn't want to cry on the video. I definitely cried afterwards, but it was just something that I dreamed about my whole life, you know, just seeing videos of like all these other YouTubers doing things for their parents. And it was definitely something that I've always wanted to do. So when I was able to do it, bro, I did it. And the crazy part is I wasn't in that video. My mom literally, so I gave her that 10 grand on my birthday. A week before that, I bought her a like $7,000 Van Cleef bracelet, gave that to her. And then on her birthday, which was 4 days after my birthday, I bought her a Van Cleef necklace, which was like 15K. So like she got spoiled that month, you know what I mean? And then after that was like my dad's birthday and things, and like had to spoil him as well. I didn't shoot that because like my dad, he's a little more private. And that's also something I've always wanted to do. So just being able to see my parents be happy without having to pay a dime, just enjoy themselves, all of us as a family, bro. It's a blessing, man. Like sometimes I feel like I'm living a dream, and I really am, but that's what I mean. Like you can't get too caught up in it. So like I just keep grinding and just act like, you know, like I don't have a dollar to my name.
100%, because that's like one of those goals that's like there is money involved, but the goal behind that in getting back to your family isn't about the money. It's like
exactly,
like you could want whatever dollar amount, but it's like at the end of the day, bro, supporting the people that love you is probably the best you're gonna get, man. What's your best advice you have for getting to that point where you can supply something like that for your family?
Listen to yourself and ignore everyone else's opinion. Like everyone has a fucking opinion, bro, and like, but no one understands your vision. And like your vision is something that you personally know that you can do, you know? So just follow your vision, keep grinding, be consistent. And the thing is like, bro, I've said this so many times to a lot of people, it doesn't happen overnight. Like it took me 2 years until I hit like 100K, you know? 2 years of grinding 16 hours a day. There was times where I lost followers. There was times where I didn't gain any followers. There was times where I was moving mad slow and I was like, dude, fuck this. But at the end of the day, as long as you believe in your vision and you keep grinding, like I said, you will get to where you want to be 100%. Just like, you know what I mean? Don't veer off the track. Don't get distracted. There you go. Really just focus on your goal, bro. Because like at the end of the day, if you don't put the work towards it, then you're not going to get to it. But if you do put the work towards it and you just leave it up to God and whatever happens, then yeah, bro, then it was meant for you. Follow your vision and just don't give up, really. As cliche as that sounds, but that's really all you need to do. And don't give a fuck about what anyone says, bro. Because a lot of people will be like, yo, I don't want to post videos on my Instagram because my friends will make fun of me or this and that. And it's like, okay, cool, your friends can make fun of you, but at the same time they're still the ones sitting there working a normal 9-to-5 job, fucking hating their life, you know? Like, are you gonna sit there and take the risk, or are you just gonna like sit there and fucking work a 9-to-5?
What is the story behind the name, bro?
So it's a little harder to say because I can't say my real name, but like just say there's like, if you take out 2 letters in a titty and add an A, that's my name. When I was in high school, I was hanging out with like a group of girls, whatever. We were like I think in a garage or something, all smoking and shit. We were all just sitting there talking, and out of nowhere, this girl was like, I'm gonna call you a titty. I was like, what? And then everyone else was like, yeah, like a titty. Because like my name, like I said, was super similar to that. At the same time, I was like a tits dude. Like I like tits more. Every girl I was talking to had like big ass tits, whatever. So like it kind of like made sense. So like they all started calling me a titty, and you know how it is. If a group of girls in high school start calling you a titty, then like it's gonna spread to their friends. Yeah. So like at that point it was a wrap, bro. Like everyone in high school was calling me a titty, and then like all my hometown friends call me a titty, and it's just like a nickname everyone calls me now. So I was like, dude, fuck it, I'm gonna run with it. And it was different. The craziest part is when I made that account a titty, my boy who brought me into NFTs was like, bro, that name's trash. It's so unprofessional. No one's gonna fuck with you, no one's gonna follow you. And I just said, fuck your opinion, and just kept rolling with it, bro. And I'm happy I did, because that's what makes me different than everyone else, you know?
My question is, who has the @ a titty?
You want to hear something crazy? I kept hitting up that Twitter account to try to get that @ for the longest, and it was like this old account, bro, that was like inactive, never used, and I just got so sick and tired of it. Came to the point where I think I was at like 60K followers. I was like, dude, I'm just gonna use my followers against this person. So I just straight up said, I was like, yo, can everyone go and report this account? And everyone went and reported it. And the way I was thinking was like, okay, if they report it, the account gets suspended, the account gets deleted, and then the at gets released, like the username, and I get to get it. But bro, it hasn't happened yet, bro. That the at has been stuck to a suspended account for the past 2 years.
I just pulled it up and it said suspended.
Yeah, bro, for the past 2 years, it's been suspended, bro. And then I just hit up X recently about it, and I think they're coming out with like a way that you could buy usernames, because they were like, yeah, like we can't get that username for you even though it's inactive for the past like blah 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 blah. Like we're coming out with a feature that you'll be able to get usernames. I was like, oh, okay, so that obviously means they're just gonna sell usernames. That's the thing I'm like scared about though, because like with that at, I don't know how they're gonna go about it, or if it's like gonna be like some auction shit. And if it's gonna be some auction shit, bro, I know people are gonna be like trolling me and raising the price, and I'm still gonna buy it. I don't give a fuck. Like I said too, like with like my whole brother, like my brother passing away, it was something that I got into. Like I was pretty upset, obviously. Like I wish I still had him, and I think about it every day. But like without that happening, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I wouldn't have gone into NFTs, wouldn't have done this. So like it's everything happens for a reason. It was definitely a blessing in disguise. So yeah, you know,
I'm sure
it's
he's
crazy.
Happy for you, man. 100%.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. But yeah, bro, it's been a wild journey. I can't thank you enough for like, you know what I mean, even asking me to come on here, bro. I really do appreciate it, because you know what I mean, at the same time you're also spending your time just, you know what I mean, doing this. So I really do appreciate it, bro.
Of course, bro. Thanks for coming on.